Good afternoon, co-host.
Yes.
How are you doing?
Doing good.
So, what adventure are we going on today?
We're at the old Navy, Air Force McCoy. That's what's called McCoy Air Force Base. It used to be here in the 80s and the 90s, and they took it down around in the late 90s because of money issues, cutting back. And this is the base, and this is the old PX. They call it
The Navy Exchange.
Navy Exchange. It used to be the Air Force Exchange, but then they turned it into a Navy Exchange.
And once upon a time, folks, this building over here.
That was part of the Navy Exchange right there.
So if you see this building, this is where they used to sell refrigerators, washer dryers, furniture. This used to be, this used to be
lawnmowers.
This used to be the garden center, and
I
that's
want
what it.
to show you something over here.
That's what it looks like today.
And over here, right over there, where it says United, that used to be the commissary. So that used to be the McCoy Air Force Base commissary, but they turned it into a hangar after they closed the base. As you can see, it says United Hangar for maintenance. So they gutted the old commissary and turned it into a hangar. And it was a giant commissary, one of the biggest commissaries back in the 90s. And I used to go there when I was a kid. When I was 14, up to 18, 19. We used to go there all the time, me and my dad.
This is what the building looks like from a distance.
And that's the PX, old Air Force PX. Now it's a Navy PX.
Because the Navy did basic training here.
Yep.
Which has all since been torn down, and the buildings have been turned into housing, and the property was returned to the city, and they converted a lot of the buildings to houses. But this used to be part of the old Navy base.
Naval Basic Training Center as well.
So we're gonna go down the next street and we'll show you some old buildings. I mean, you can see the remnants of what it used to be, where all the parking lots are, and where buildings used to be. These and it's all grass.
What buildings were in here.
Yep. If you go down...
Right here is quarters. These used to be quarters.
Yeah, this used to be a park where dependents used to go. And if you go over to the left...
That's the quarters.
If you go over, we're going to go on Land Street Road. And we're going to show you a little bit about what the Navy housing used to be.
No, McCoy Air Force Base.
It was military housing. Either you or aren't...
It was all military. It was controlled by Air Force, Nancia. The units.
Okay. Okay, so we're going where you see military housing at. All of this has now been since turned over to the city. And so what the city has done, this is now called the Villages of Southport. So we're just going to go by, this is Island Village, but this is what military quarters for Navy and Air Force or Army, anybody that was on orders, this is what military quarters used to be like. So for those of you that were ever stationed in Orlando, this is what they looked like today. Now these would have been for senior military officers, enlisted. Now naturally, they wouldn't be multiple colors back then. They would have been gray. Gray was the color, or beige. They look like military housing, doesn't it? They've withstood the test of time. Now, back then, quarters, military housing, they took care of you. If you had something wrong, there was a number that you called for Public Works, and then they would fix everything for you. Nowadays, that's just not. It's all privatized, and it's really worse for wear. But this is the old Navy housing, military. Now, mind you, there's been modifications to these houses throughout the years, but okay, so we're going to stop here for a moment. So where that Army Reserve headquarters is, which is First Lieutenant David R. Wilson, our Army Reserve Command, that's a new building. Believe me, it was never here when I was out. So that's a new building. Okay. So he's going to make it left, but that's all new right there. You've got a lot of commands that's okay, so we've had, me and my co-host had a bit of a discussion. McCoy Air Force Base was here in the local Orlando area, stationed near the airport. He was correct. From 1940 until 1975, when it was BRACT. Okay, the Navy Training Center was still local to the area, but as the military, as the war changed, we were moving into a Cold War scenario, and so the mission for many units changed. So here we are. This used to be the commissary, where the United Airlines hangar, and now they're changing it yet again. But this is what it looks like now. Okay, let's get a better look at what this used to look like. For those of you stationed in the area, this is what they would call this a shopette or garden center. But I remember coming here and we would buy things when we were ever on leave in the area. But this is a shame. They're not using this no more. And as a matter of fact, my co-host's father used to work here. Yep. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do another loop. We're going to go down another way so you can see more of what it used to look like. And all of this is just gone to pot. I apologize. It is a little bit of a windy day, and I'm not sophisticated enough to have I can offer the sounds. Nice and dense. Okay, back, so this was all Air Force back once upon a time. Where it says Trade Port, all of this used to be where this was all logistics. So the Air Squadron was here, and what they do is they did a lot of work between here and the airport. Okay, hold on. We're gonna do a U-turn so they can see the other side. It's just, it's not private. if you look off in a distance, I mean, it's us where that's all barbed wired off. This used to be,
Turned into a plastic dump.
yeah. But you could just see that used to be,
That used to be a parking lot and a building somewhere in the back down there.
yeah. It may have been the headquarters. Yeah. Do you see those buildings in a distance?
Yep, they're all gone.
Yeah. All of that's all torn
That's the
down.
parking lot.
Yeah.
Actually,
No, we can't.
Actually, they took the road out. There
Look
used
at
to be a
that.
road here.
Look at that.
There used to be a road going through there.
Here.
Up there.
Okay, let me get out a little bit. So you could see, you see the road where it was going right over there? And now you can see in a distance. So that all used to be part of the McCoy Annex. And then over there used to be where you can get ID cards, movie theater, church services were over in that area. We're gonna go drive over there now. Okay, so we're going from Avenue C to 3rd Street. We're gonna make a right. And you can just see, you know, this will give you an idea that all the grass is overgrown. And a lot of the buildings are just all torn down. Yeah. So that used to be all buildings over there. If you see, but I mean, you could just see where, you know, military bases are like mini cities. You've got housing, you've got gas stations, movie theaters, you've got bowling alleys, restaurants, shopping centers, everything that anybody would want. So this used to be an old, all of this used to belong. Yeah, and you can see they were all ball fields. You've got buildings right back over there, support services.
Rec centers.
Yeah. Yeah, this is all the
villages of Southport, which are exporters.
Yeah, all of these are military quarters. Now, mind you, the difference between then and now is quite a bit. But again, for those that were stationed in the area, you have an idea of what it used to look like, and I'm sure it would bring back memories. If you basic training or station here.
Actually, it's pretty nice, isn't that?
Yeah, we're just going through. The quarters here were extensive. You'd be surprised how many people used to live in government quarters. And it really, you know, it's in a way, it's not a bad thing to do. It just depends where you're stationed at. And back then, like I said, military housing wasn't a bad way to go. You didn't have water or electric bills to pay back then. You just moved in and everything was taken care of for you.
And for the 70s and the 80s, these were actually pretty nice for military personnel.
Absolutely. Not only that, but think about this. When you had to clear, it's called clearing quarters, meaning you were moving to another base, you had to make sure that those quarters were clean. And I'm telling you, it ain't fun when you had to, you know, let's just say, you know, when you got them, they were in better condition when you left, not when you came in. But again, it was where you were stationed at. So we're just kind of driving through the neighborhood here. No, I was never stationed in Orlando. I was, my units was up in St. Augustine. So this is what it looks like today. Not bad, but not good either. So we decided to stop for a moment to find out where the old officer housing was. And according to Google, this is actually a part of it. So we actually were where officer quarters were. So in the villages of Southport is where it used to be old officer housing. We tried to find if there was a general's row and we were not successful. But all of this area here, this, which is now a park, baseball field, all of this was all part of McCoy Annex once upon a time. So you can just imagine all of the people that used to walk on these sidewalks, walk on these lawns were all military people. Especially when you're talking in the 40s, what a different area, time period this would be. It's a rainy afternoon here, but there's really not much left. But since we were in the area, I thought it would be nice to show a little bit more of Orlando history, give you a taste of what it used to be like in the olden days. So folks, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you for coming along, sharing a little bit of local history with you. Like, subscribe, click on the notification bell that lets you know when a new video will be uploaded. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend. Word of mouth is how my channel grows. Visitors, thank you for coming along. Subscribers, you're always in my heart. And everyone else, thank you for watching. See you in the next travel adventure. It's raining, so I need to duck and dodge. So long for now.
There's the PX to the left.
In 400 feet, turn left onto East Land Street Road. Turn left onto East Land Street Road.